I'm drinking hot toddies. Check it and see. I got a BAC of 103. I'm really sick, Mike. I don't feel good. Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with Greinberg and Biggs. He is Greinberg, I am Biggs. Today we are talking about wide receiver Landmines. Ba-boom! Producer! Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with Greinberg and Biggs. He is Greinberg, I am Biggs. You are watching the Fantasy Football Advice Network on the YouTubes. And today we are talking about our ADP landmines in 2024 in your redraft leagues. Murder your coworkers in fantasy football, in your work leagues. Kill your children in your family leagues in fantasy football. On ESPN.com, Yahoo.com, CBSSports.com, NFL.com, etc. Redraft. It's redraft. Everybody plays redraft. You got degenerates like Mike and I who have 85 fucking leagues, and then you have Dear Watcher who has a couple leagues and likes to play some fantasy football and plays it at work and at home with his family or her family, because women play fantasy football, god damn it. And you know, just play the normal redraft stuff. And that's what our content is geared for. It's for you. So listen to us, and we will help you build a champion. That's what we're here to do. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing awesome, man. It is starting to get real nice and sunny. Summer's coming around the corner, and it looks like the Fantasy Football Expo, where Fantasy Football Advice Network is the headline sponsor, is starting to heat up here. What are your thoughts on being in Canton in probably less than 2 months now, Biggs?
I would prefer it was in like Seattle, but Canton is fine as long as there's a poker tournament for me to play in. The Great Night Out, Randy Moss League to draft in, and the flag football game, and a booth to go to. You know, I might stop by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame too. I'm definitely going to the NFL Hall of Fame, but I will be in Canton in August, and Mike will too, and we would love to see you there. Come reach out, shake a hand or three, and I only have two, but Mike has two, so that you could shake you could shake 3 of our 4 hands, and that would work.
Yeah.
But yeah, come to Canton. If you're within driving distance, or you just have $1,500 to like throw around, just come say hi. But that's not what we're doing today, Mike. We're not talking about the expo. We're talking about our top 3 wide receiver ADP landmines in 2024. This is episode 33, and I have the intro. Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast. We are your hosts, but you do that. Show 33 topic intro. Greinberg did that. Big show number 33, wide receiver ADP landmines. Boom, nailed it. And my number 3, and I think Mike's gonna have a problem with both. Oh,
nah.
I don't know where my camera just went. Okay,
You're looking great.
All right. I think Mike's gonna have a problem with both of my landmines, because both my number 3 and my number 2 are Chiefs. My first one, I'm talking about Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy at the moment is being drafted at ADP 36. That means that he is going to be in your starting lineup in some of the deeper leagues, and I really don't buy that. So the other one is Rashee Rice. Now, in standard leagues, not PPR, but standard leagues, those guys flip. I think Worthy is around wide receiver 41, and Rashee Rice is around wide receiver 38. So Rashee Rice is falling. Wide receiver 47, he's still a flex option in 3 wide receiver leagues or in two flex leagues, and a bench option in 2 wide receiver leagues. But why would you want to take a chance on Rashee Rice if he's going to be suspended for at least the first 4 games of the season, if not the first 8 games, if not the entire season. So I don't want to have anything to do with either of those two guys. In our other shows, I talked all last season about how I did not like owning Chiefs wide receivers because the ball gets spread around. There's no singular alpha aside from Travis Kelce. He's the dog, and I just don't know how to pick out who the guy to go with each week is, because it always changes. So Xavier Worthy is number 3, and Rashee Rice is number 2. Number 1 is a receiver that we'll talk about when Grindberger is done with his 2.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do my number 1. No. Okay, sorry. We're gonna start with number 3 because that's how we do this on this show, right, Biggs? We go with our third.
I don't even know what's happening right now. What's happening?
I know. All right. So my number 3 is A.J. Brown, and I know his 2023 showcases big playability and wide receiver 1 potential, but concerns arise with his late season struggles coinciding with the Eagles' decline and changing in coaching staff. Despite consistent volume, Brown's shift in yards per catch and reliance on Jalen Hurts' passing efficiency raises doubts about his future production. Additionally, the acquisition of Saquon Barkley and potential offensive adjustments adds uncertainty to his role in 2024, making him a risky draft choice despite his past success. We talked about this on our last show. I talked about Jalen Hurts being a fade for me, and this coincides with that. And then my number 2 wide receiver that I'm fading. And despite Deebo Samuel's versatility and past success, there are several reasons to proceed with caution when considering him in your fantasy drafts in 2024. First, Samuel's performance has been volatile throughout his career, with fluctuations in production and reliance, efficiency rather than volume. Additionally, his injury history, coupled with his aggressive playing style, raises concerns about his long-term durability and potential for missed games. Moreover, his role as the number 2 wide receiver behind Brandon Ayuk and the uncertainty surrounding the Niners' cap space and roster decisions adds further complexity to his outlook. So fantasy managers should approach drafting Samuel as a high-risk, high-reward option, considering the potential of injury and the emergence of other receiving options in San Francisco. A wide receiver 16 is just too rich for my blood, with a guy that is going to be, a year older, being reliant on that rushing upside. I think I more use him as a running back, and I think his age cliff is getting pretty near now. So that's my Deebo Samuel take for this year. Biggs, who's your number 1 fade, buddy?
Age cliff. I don't know. I tried to break in there without remembering that my mic was on mute. But I wanted to be so, you're telling me that we're fading Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and, spoiler alert, Saquon Barkley? That's crazy. We're crazy. My number 1 spotlight shown is Houston Texans wide receiver Stefon Diggs, erstwhile of the Buffalo Bills. Is Stefon Diggs a good wide receiver? Yeah, he's good. Is he going to have a Stefon Diggs season in 2024? I don't think so. He's being currently drafted at the wide receiver 21, and I don't see that. Yes, CJ is going to be able to carry 2 good wide receivers, but that means that Stefon Diggs has to avoid being outplayed by Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Tank Dell, pre-injury, was the darling of the rookie class last season, aside from Puka Nacua, of course. But everybody was like, oh, I saw Tank Dell coming at the Senior Bowl and blah, blah, blah. And then he got hurt. Tank Dell's good, and Nico Collins is good. In fact, Nico Collins gets a higher separation rate than Stefon Diggs. So if I'm CJ Stroud and I'm dropping back and I'm looking around, who am I going to see open? I'm going to see Nico Collins open before I'm going to see Stefon Diggs open. I'm also going to know that Tank Dell is an option. There's also Dalton Schultz. There is a very big wide receiver core or receiving core in Houston. And it's not a situation that Stefon Diggs has found himself before. So A, Stefon Diggs is aging. B, his analytics, his efficiency metrics are on the decline. C, he's got a crowded wide receiver room. D, he's not getting separation like he used to, which is that goes along with B. And C and A, and I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but I'm not drafting Stefon Diggs as the wide receiver 21 because that would firmly put him in your wide receiver slots. And there are a lot of guys that I'd rather have. He's never played with a wide receiver room that was as stacked as this, not in Buffalo, not in Minnesota. And I'm just not, I'm letting other people take Stefon Diggs this year. I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
Yeah, me neither. I was off him last year when, I saw the downfall after his 2022 season when, he ended that season on a downslope. Same thing happened last year. He surged, and then went on a downslope. When things aren't going his way, he doesn't seem like he's that big of a team player, and I just don't know his outlook, especially at that ADP, Biggs. I'm with you here, man.
At least last season, his competition for targets was Gabe Davis, who's a boomer bust guy, and Dalton Kincaid, who was a rookie tight end that you'd never know what's going to happen with a rookie tight end. This year we know he's got a whole lot of competition. The Texans are going to be great, but it's another situation like Miami, like Kansas City, where there are so many mouths to feed. You can't really rely on one guy unless you know that he's superior to all of them. And in that Texans wide receiver core, that's Nico Collins, period.
Schultze, what do you think about the matter? Are you a Diggs truther? Do you think he's going to have some success in this Texans offense the way that he's being drafted as?
No. I'll say more. Don't worry.
I wish I was more on the ball and I just hit exit.
So you guys talked about the first half and then the decline. If you look at from week 10 on, his best finish was wide receiver 13. And that comes as the lead target guy in a lot of those games. Now I don't have the numbers with me, but I'm sure probably Kincaid passed him up in a couple of those for targets, I would guess. But for the most part, still the leading target guy. And in the second half of the season, wide receiver 13 is your best performance. And he was wide receiver 46 or worse 6 times. And then on top of going into this crowded room, you just got, Nico just got the deal. Tank Dell is incredible. You guys hit on that already.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah, we definitely hit on that. Okay.
We hit on that. We're just waiting on who else we're gonna hit on. Hey everybody. We just wanted to say thank you for
hold on. I gotta get my number one my number one slot in here.
Yeah.
And my number one.
Please check it.
All right. Okay. Let's break down Keenan Allen and why he's not the best bet in fantasy football this year. Sure, he had a killer 2023, finishing as the wide receiver 8 overall, rocking a solid 31% target share, but we're waving goodbye to his days in the sunny shores of LA, and now he's headed to the windy city to join the Bears, where things are a little dicey. See, the Bears might not offer the same love he got from Herbert and the Chargers with a rookie quarterback at the helm, and guys like Rome Odunze and DJ Moore vying for catches. Allen's target share might take a hit. Plus, at age 32, he could start creeping up, making him harder to keep up with that fantasy dominance. Speaking of competition, the Bears aren't short on it. We talked about Moore and Odunze. They're no slouches. Moore putting up wide receiver 10 numbers last year. Odunze, a fresh talent with a lot of buzz around him. So Allen might not be that reliable wide receiver one he once was. Think of him more as a high-end wide receiver 3, especially with his recent injury history and the uncertainties of a rookie quarterback. Sure, Allen has been a fantasy rock star for years, but with the move to Chicago and some fresh faces nipping at his heels, with all this said, Keenan Allen is going as the wide receiver 25 in redraft leagues. Way too rich for my blood. Think twice before drafting Keenan Allen this year. New team, new challenges, and a rookie QB could spell trouble for his fantasy dominance, and that's why he is my ADP landmine at the wide receiver position. Biggs, take us home today. Tell us where everybody can find all our awesome stuff and where to find us here. You are on the mute.
At our homes. I'm at Big Boned FFB. He's at FF Connect 99. I just wanted to say Danyavad to our Indian viewers and obrigado to our Portuguese viewers. Oh, I mean, I don't want to leave out Brazil. Obrigado to you guys too. Go ahead and like the channel. Yes, like the show. Subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when we drop. And share it around like shit. Chop up our videos and share it around to your friends on Facebook and Twitter and the like. Let's get the algorithm going. Let's get all the viewers that we can get. Let's drop into everybody's feed on YouTube. And other than that, I hope you win.
We hope you win.